Pep Talk UK. It's time!
Everyone talk good game, but it don't really faze me. The man that ain't mad like Max, the boy not murky like Ace B. And them gal walk the slide on the back bar, like a baby.
Oi, oi, welcome to the Pep Talk UK Sports Podcast, the podcast that talks the major boxing and football news from around the globe, real points of view from a real panel. Hashtag real talk on Pep Talk. Don't forget to subscribe to Pep Talk UK on iTunes and YouTube. Please like, share and comment. I'm your host today, Frankie B, and for this festive period, I'm joined by a special panel today. First, I'd like to welcome from the capital city of France, Paris, Pascal. How are ya?
Pascal is in the house today. I'm very well, Frankie B. And yourself, how are you?
Mate, I'm full of turkey at the moment, mate. I need to get down the gym.
Well, you know, Frankie, this is the period of excess. So please do as much as you want. You know, next year is a different year and we do it again.
I'm staring at a mince pie right on my right hand side right now. It looks so tantalizing.
Oh, please, Frankie B. Take one chunk and put it all in your mouth. Okay. Please do, Frankie.
I'm going to be strong. Okay, next up is a Pep Talk lady who is a former multi-kickboxing champion, the blonde bomber, Angela Hebden.
Hello.
What's going on, Angela?
What's going on? Why I said?
Hey, man. me call you now. Me cool.
Wicked. How's Tricks?
Tricks is good. How was your Christmas?
Mine was alright. It was alright. Peaceful, quiet, you know. Too much food. So when are you going to start retraining? I went back today. Boy, it was hard.
Can imagine.
It was tough. Straight on the pads with Don Charles, running, all sorts. Yeah, it was not gonna lie. I felt chunky up in there.
That ain't changed the girl. That just means chunky from Christmas food. But let's get it. You want to shout out your social media, Angela?
Just Ange_boxing on Instagram, at Angela Hebden on Twitter, and Angela Hebden on Snapchat. And I've got a Facebook page, Angela Hebden.
Nice. Now I'd like to welcome from the depths of White Hart Lane, Spurs soldier, Mike H. How you doing, geese?
Frank, I'm great, thank you, man. I'm great. I've been watching the Spurs game, so no complaints from me, man.
I thought you said you liked football.
I've watched a 5-goal game tonight.
Didn't get
very
the
happy
joke.
with it. Yeah, I get it.
Good Christmas?
A really good, Frank. Yourself?
Yeah, wicked, man. I ate too much, but I need to get back in the gym.
Man.
You know?
Join the club, man. Yeah, it'll happen, Frank.
Brilliant.
I won't stress it.
Cool. So finally, can we welcome a man from the exciting music producers called Streets Made Innovators, man like Leon Vandal. How you doing, bruv?
I'm very well, thank you. Just chilling. And I'm good. My feet are up. And yeah, I just watched the Spurs match. It was a great match. And I'm here now. And yeah, looking forward to interesting conversations, you know.
So do you want to remind people that, you know, that you basically allowed us to borrow your single, Mad, featuring Murky Ace?
Oh yes, So that music you hear, I was involved in. I was one of the guys behind the composition of that. Hopefully you like it, and yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Big up, Mad. Yeah.
Big up, Mad.
So, Leon Vandal, you want to shout out your social media?
Yeah. It's SM Innovators. So SM as in Streets Made Innovators, but SM Innovators, yeah. Twitter, Facebook, Streets Made Innovators. Yeah, that's it. Instagram, Streets Made Innovators. Yeah.
Before we move on, Pascal, before our lady listeners kill me, what are your social media handles?
My Twitter is off the hook at the moment of the chain. I've been getting DMs, very concerning for Delphine.
It's going down in the DMs.
It's very much going down, which I'm very pleased about. But it's Pascal_de_Sade. Pascal_de_Sade, like the French pervert, Marquis de Sade. It's me, Pascal.
Pascal. Brilliant. Now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go. So it's a special podcast. We're going to talk about 2016, and we're going to start with a boxing review of 2016 itself. Overall, 2016 was a great year for exciting fights, which ended with boxing in the UK being on a tremendous high. Now, Pascal, quite simply, which fight did you enjoy the most?
Oh, Frankie B. It was a very exciting fight this year. Very exciting year of boxing. But for me, Pascal, my favorite fight of this year was Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. 12 rounds of non-stop action from the first round to the 12th round. It was like, the Royal Rumble, was punch for punch. It was absolutely extraordinary. And I tell you what, Frankie B, I was on the edge of my seat every single round of the fight, and for a moment, the fight could have gone either way, but Sean Porter, aggressive, come forward fighter, like a pit bull, wanted to maul a human being. Very, very good fighter. And also Keith Thurman, great footwork, great technique, great power. There was no knockout, but it was a delightful 12 round of boxing, completely loved it. Best fight for me. Best knockout for me also goes to Canelo against Amir Khan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
definitely. The feint to the body and the overhand right, total knockout.
Bonne nuit, good night, as they say in French.
That was a cuckoo.
Of course.
So what's that guy that got knocked out and he knocked out the ring?
B-Hop. That was a sick knockout, but that was pretty sad.
And he was talking stuff before. He was talking crud.
Yeah, but when you're a legend, you can talk like that.
He was talking crud. He was, borderline racism, I think.
Well, Bernard Hopkins is a controversial figure, but
he got knocked outside the ring. That Street Fighter when someone gets knocked out.
I was thinking more WWF Royal Rumble, thrown over the top rope.
It's very much, deep down, deep down, I don't think that Bernard Hopkins is racist, but he's from the very mean street of Philadelphia, and it's just the way that people talk to each other there. They use anything to try and give, find a weakness in your character. But deep down, Hopkins is a lover of all people. He respects all people, but he's very much a street guy. It's
just the Philadelphia in him. It's just the Meek Mill and Beanie Siegel in him.
Of course, it's just the mean guy. But credit to Smith. Good fighter on the up and coming. In terms of up and coming, Frankie B, perhaps Smith is one of the fighters to mention, by knocking out Bernard Hopkins, that's a very, very good achievement, because not many people have knocked out Bernard Hopkins, in his career, so it's something to give him credit for. But for me, the year, as I said to you before, was very well, rounded up with Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and Amir Khan getting knocked out by Canelo. That was superb, very, very good year.
Amir Khan got some sweet chin music though. It was was spectacular, to be fair.
It was a beautiful, memorable stuff, it's the stuff that you enjoy boxing for, Amir was winning the fight, on points, of course. Canelo couldn't find him because the speed and the range was really good, but the power, the devastating power of Canelo was just superb. Yeah.
So Angela, over to you now.
Yeah, I would say that the Con Canelo was definitely one of the highlights of this year for me. Just
Cinco de Mayo.
Just saying, that knockout was just ridiculous. Went down like an ironing board. I would also say one of my favourite fights this year was probably the Triple G and Ward fight. Not Ward, sorry.
Kell Brook. Yes,
Kell Brook,
I agree.
I was actually going to move on to the Ward fight. That's why. The Kell Brook Triple G fight, fantastic fight as well. You know, again, Kell Brook, a little bit like Amir Khan, gone up the weight divisions, was ahead on points, but you know, just the punch was just too powerful for him. You know, so that was definitely one of the highlights of my year. And the Kovalev Ward fight, fantastic fight, 12 rounds. Could have gone either way. We've had that discussion, but you know, a great fight. But then I have to say that you know the Jose Burton and Frank Buglioni. What a way to end the year! Brilliant. Fantastic fight. You know,
what about White and Chisora? Who's the donkey now?
Do you know what? This year has been sick. This year we've had so many deep fights, and White Chisora, Frank Buglioni, Jose Burton, Kovalev Ward, Triple G, Kell Brook, and Khan and Canelo. I've got to say that, you know, it's quite hard to narrow it down.
But what about Joshua Molina, though? That was a good fight.
Yeah, really?
Really? Look, big up Anthony Joshua. No. It's just that, you know, Molina
Joshua,
wasn't on the same level.
I can't say that any of his fights this year have kind of excited me much because they've not really been fights. It's just been Anthony Joshua taking the piss. You know, let's be straight. So yeah, they're my top 5, definitely.
So we move on to who's your Pep Talk UK Fighter of the Year. It doesn't have to be a box office name. Pascal, who really shone in 2016?
Fighter of the Year, Frankie B. Very good question. Very good question. Don't
say Delphine. Don't say Delphine. That doesn't count.
I will not say Delphine. Okay. You know what? I'll have to use the plural if you allow me to give you more than one fighter. But I'm a very big fan of Vasyl Lomachenko.
Yes.
Lomachenko to me was a very exceptional fighter. You know, the way he made that poor Jamaican guy quit was very sad. But that was very, very good display of technical ability. One to watch for the future. We have to give credit to Andre Ward, for collecting all these belts, light heavyweight title like Sergey Kovalev. That was a very good fight. Very, very good fight in terms of, the drama. Ward getting knocked out on the second round and winning a very controversial fight. The kind of fight that you talk to your friends, at the local bistro or the local pub about, So that was a very good fight also. And I think that Ward deserves some credit for taking the fight in the first instance and for winning the fight.
So you see your Fighter of the Year based on that result?
My Fighter of the Year. Do you know what, Frankie B? I'll be very, very interesting and very different.
Don't have one, yeah.
My Fighter of the Year, I have to give it to Kell Brook.
Kell Brook?
Oui, Kell Brook. Do you know why? Because Kell Brook lost a very good fight. He lost a very good fight, but the respect I give into Kell Brook because, for him to show the determination and to dare to be great.
Angela, I like how you said that, the respect. What's that song? R-E-S-P-C-T.
Of course.
That's the one.
Kell Brook, I've become a big fan of, and sometimes the sport of boxing is not always judged on the winners. It's just on the men who are willing to be great.
Yeah, he dared to be great.
So Kell Brook is the Fighter of the Year for me.
He went out on his shield. He would have fought until he had no vision in both eyes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to the very end. He's a boxer. He was made to fight. He's a boxer. And I admire Kell Brook very much. So Kell Brook, if you're listening, you're the champ, baby.
He's back, baby.
Okay. So, Angela, are you in agreement? Is it Kell Brook?
Do you know what? Sorry.
Because he's back, baby.
Yeah. Kell Brook, definitely just went up in everybody's estimation. He got a lot of respect from everybody. Again, going up 2 weight divisions, and like you say, he would have just carried on until the bitter end. But I think Dillian Whyte's had a good year as well. I think he's shown, if we're if we're going to kind of go all British, you know, Dillian Whyte's had a fantastic year. He's progressed every fight. Derek Chisora came out with a hell of a lot more fans and a lot more respect than he went into that fight with as well, because, you know, people were ruling Derek out, and it was so close, and we already know what everyone's opinion on that fight. But, you know, again, so... Yeah, but then, you know, you have to give it to Amir Khan. He gave Canelo a fantastic fight. So I think when you're looking at Fighter of the Year, you're kind of looking at the best fights. But yeah, I would say Kell Brook for me. Definitely.
Kell Brook. What about like an upcoming fighter? I mean,
Katie Taylor.
Taylor. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, Katie Taylor, she's just gone out there, absolutely smashed it from the start. So next year is going to be a very exciting year for her.
Yes. But Frankie, I mean, if you're talking about, you know, fighters who are on their way to be great, Terence Crawford.
Oh yes, you know, yes. Oh yes.
But you know, super fighter. You know, great performances this year also. You know, I mean. You know, Frankie, these
that's the next superstar, that is.
Super fighters, but you know, the charm about the sport that we love so much, boxing, is not always the winners, you know, it's the fighters show the true grit, the true determination in the ring, you know, and I always tell anybody, you know, if you're a man, prove yourself, go into a ring. And you know what, Frankie, you'll be surprised, not many men have the capacity to put on some gloves and to go into the square circle, you know, and any man that's great, or that calls himself a man, should go into the square circle and throw some punches for 1 round and see how they feel about it. And I'm telling you, not many men can do that. So we have to give credit to anybody that goes into the ring, anybody that's willing to put their life on the line, you know, for their entertainment, for our joy. And it is the reason why we are talking in this podcast, you know, because of men.
I was just about to say that as well, you know, the entertainment value. You know, the flamboyancy of some fighters. They may not have always gone in there and won the fight, but they've definitely been the most entertaining fighters to watch.
Of course.
Definitely. We've had a lot of good build-ups. I mean, who's the donkey now? You know? Who's
the donkey now, fam?
I've got my daughter saying that. That's how entertaining it was. You know, that was a very engaging fight. Amir Khan and Canelo, that had a great build-up for Cinco de Mayo. We had Triple G, Kell Brook. Now that was an amazing spectacle. I watched it over again the other day, and it was an amazing fight. I was there in the arena, and I didn't appreciate how big of a fight it was until I watched it over again. And it's only when watching it again did I see how good Triple G actually was. He caught Kell Brook with a vicious left hook. In the second round from there, he took him apart. But Kell Brook weren't going to give up, and that's what I admire him for.
Yeah. And if you're talking about up and coming as well, you've got Conor Benn. Conor Benn's had a good year.
Conor Benn, yes.
It's been Matchroom's year, basically. Matchroom, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about Matchroom. Goodwin's been up and coming as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Leon Vandal, any fight of the year? Please don't say Frank Bruno.
No, I'm not really into boxing too tight. That guy that got into, he was in a coma. Nick Blackwell, is it?
Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
He's the fighter.
The courage.
Out the coma, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. That's
very
true.
Very good. Yes, good
shout. I mean, Google works handy before podcast, man. That's
to be honest with you, I was looking at the Sky Sports app. And if you actually look at the Sky Sports app, it says it's got his name there. So that's where I got it from.
Yeah. You know what? Get well soon, Nick Blackwell.
Next fight confirmed.
He's reading off the app of the phone. That's brilliant, man. That's top legend stuff, mate.
Listen, we've all done it.
All right, brilliant. Well, we've established our fighter of the year, and we've established the fighter of the year. Now it's interview time. Now, our boxing reporter Shaz Chowdhury once again spoke with two boxers that have big plans for 2017. These were Pep Talk UK sponsored athlete Linus Udofia and Prospere.
Pep Talk UK are joined by Double Trouble, Men on a Mission, The way they're standing over me now almost reminds me of a nasty-looking wrestling WWF team. It's none other than Mr. Linus Udofia, Pep Talk boy.
How's it going, Shaz? You good?
I'm well, thank you. And Mr. K. Prosper. How you doing, K?
I'm really good. Back in the house.
Gents, you're both trained by Terry Stewart. What's the session with Terry Stewart like, Linus?
Absolutely grueling. He puts you through the paces, but to be honest, you know what I mean, I've never left a session without learning something, so it's the best.
Kay, what are your views on Terry's training sessions?
Terry's sessions are top notch. Like, you go in there, get worked above and beyond. His expectations are higher than ours, so I think that's why we always push on. We think, we can do 10, he wants us to do 20, and he gets the best out of us.
Linus, in terms of 2016, looking back as a year, as a whole, you've had several fights, you've been unbeaten. How has the year been for you?
Oh, well, this year's been, you know what I mean, at the start of this year, I signed my pro contract, turned over, talking about my debut. Next thing you know, I'm 3 fights in, doing well, starting to make some waves and, you know what I mean, make some noise around the scene. And it couldn't have gone any better, to be honest. It's been perfect. You know what I mean? All the sponsors have come in. Everything has just been working out for me. It's absolutely amazing right now.
What's been the highlight of the year for you?
My last fight, you know, and really got my first stoppage, and just in that, I say that fight because, you know what I mean, I was most comfortable I've ever been in the ring in that one. I just felt great. My weight was great. I felt absolutely 100%. I felt fit, felt strong, felt fast, and everything that we worked on over 8 weeks of a camp just all came out on unfortunately my opponent, and that was it.
Okay, you've had mixed fortunes in 2016. Mm-hmm. You had a fantastic fight, a southern area tilt, where unfortunately the points went the way of Rakeem Noble. Some time on from that fight now. What are your views on that fight? How it went down?
Okay, that fight specifically, obviously I've had time to take stock and to really analyse what happened leading up to the fight, what happened in the fight. But I'm not stressing myself over. I'm being very positive, and I'm just taking the positives out of the fight. I personally feel that on the night the better man won, even though I came into there very positive, very confident. Obviously everyone knows I had an injury earlier in the fight, but I still take my hats off to Rakeem, and at the end of the day, like I've heard and I think it's true, you either lose or you learn. I learned a lot from that fight, and 2017 is going to be a massive year for me, because the best thing about it is when you lose, you get people that fall off the wayside and they don't support you anymore. But the best thing is I've got Steve Goodwin still backing me, and his camp still backing me, and it's still got big aspirations. And I'm just waiting to get myself healed up and just start to get back on that road to big things.
Now, we mentioned healing up. I see your hand still got some sort of dressing around it. It's a cast.
I've got band right here.
How long is the recovery time on the hand? When are you going to be back in training? Are you training at the moment? What are you doing with yourself?
So it's Christmas time now, so I'm not actually training. I've got another, I said 4 to 5 weeks in class, depending on when I have my next X-ray. So, do you know what? I just want to just fully recover, just keep the hunger burning inside me. All the time I'm at the gym, I'm seeing everyone else still doing their thing. Props to my boy Linus, Brad Paul's in the gym. Chunky's fighting tonight, Michael Devine. I see all these people pushing on, doing their thing, and you know what? Every day I just wake up wanting to train, and I think I'm just going to harness that when I'm healed up, and you're going to see the best of me now. You're going to see the best of me.
Linus, what can we expect from you in 2017?
There's a lot of things I can't say right now. That's just going through in the back for me, and just expect a lot more than we got this year, and just always upwards and upwards. There's a lot of things I need to sign, and there's a lot of deals coming my way, and it's all I'll let everyone know soon. But right now, it's all big things are coming.
One thing I do know about the pair, you're going to be busy in 2017. You do come out of a town with a bit of pride. You're both Luton boys, and you're both representing Luton, and you're picking up a nice little following. And we at Pep Talk wish you both lads the best in 2017. We'll be watching you every step of the way. Now, Linus, for your fans out there or the listeners that are not following you on social media, what are your handles?
My Instagram, boxer Linus Udofia. My Twitter is Linus_boxer. Twitter and Facebook, Linus Udofia.
And Kay, what about you? What are your handles?
Yeah, people can catch me at K_Prospere1. Obviously, at the minute I'm a bit inactive, but you know you see some good contents on there. So yeah, just come and check me out.
Gents, as a final thing, any message for the listeners or your fans out there? Udofia
is a name, just expect really big things. I just want to quickly shout out to my sponsors, my moving company, Pep Talk UK, LJB Electrical Contractors, and
anyone else that supports Linus. Big shout out to you all. And what about UK? Any shout outs for you?
Shout out my missus, shout out my kids, shout out to God, yeah, and shout out to all my supporters. Now, but on the real, you know what it is, obviously, at the minute I'm down, but I'm not out. All my people that are out there, yeah, just keep looking out for this.
Gents, we wish you the best for 2017. You're going to be on a journey. We're going to be hanging on to your coattails and following you all the way. Best of luck, lads.
Shout out to Pep Talk.
Thank you. Shout out to Pep Talk, the main boys.
Shaz also managed to catch up with a promising welterweight, Abraham Horner.
Pep Talk UK are joined by Mr. Abraham Horner. How are you doing, Abraham?
I'm good, Shaz. How are you? I'm good.
I'm very well. You're in amongst a few other lads being interviewed by me for the podcast as an up-and-coming boxer. You're now 5-0. You recently had a fight where you stopped your opponent in the 5th round. I was there to watch that. How's training going? How's fighting going? How are you generally?
I'll start with the training. Training, trust me, Shaz, is relentless, hard training, twice a day, 5 days a week. I mean, you got Adam Booth texting me what to do, what not to do. You got Richard Towers, how did this go? What was your times? You got Roger Lee taking you on the pads. I mean, it's all a very good team, very good unit, and training's going really, really well. Generally, yeah, I feel happy, you know. I feel I'm on the straight path. I'm away from, trials of life, as in temptations and stuff, due to the training and staying regular and fighting. So I can't complain. I take my hat off to life at the minute.
What gym are you training out of?
I'm training out of the boxing booth. That's in London. The Pacific gym is Like to Box gym.
Now, you're a bit far from home. You're not from London, are you?
I'm not. I'm very far from home, especially from Surrey. I'm all the way down from Leicester. So I'm about 180 miles away from home. Very long drive. I could tell you some of the hard training stories before. I didn't even have a place up in Surrey. I used to get on a train every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, catch 3 trains to get to the gym to spar for 11 o'clock. And I used to do that every day for about 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and trust me, it was hard.
What can we expect from you in 2017?
I'll tell you straight, I'm looking to fight again in the next 3 weeks here, and 2017, God willing, I'm looking just to, really, 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 really dedicate myself as I am now, and just get the best fights, the southern area, the English, you know what I mean, and then take it from there. Because you know what, boxing is a funny sport, man. You gotta stay on it, because the 2 weeks out is like, 2 weeks out is like 2 months out when it comes back to the fitness level. I'm telling you now, you gotta stay on this game, and you can't let it slip.
We recently interviewed Adam, and he had good things to say about you, and now we're interviewing you, so we're doing all right, Pep Talk UK. Now, you're a Leicester boy. I'm assuming you support Leicester Football Club as well.
Come on, man, Shaz, yeah.
I'm a Leeds boy!
Come on, man. I got to support Leicester. I don't understand. I got people in Leicester. I say, what team do you support? They say they support Man U. How can you support Man U if you're from Leicester? I've never got that. People from Man U support other it don't make sense. But yeah, I'm from Leicester and I support Leicester, I'm not a Glory supporter.
Good. Even though you're the Premier League champions.
Yeah,
but he's not a Glory supporter. I bet if I interviewed him 2 years ago, he'd be a Spurs fan or something.
You can't come with that, man. I'm from Leicester, man. Leicester, man.
I love it. Every person from Leicester is now a Leicester fan.
Yeah.
But it's always a pleasure talking to you, Abraham. We wish you the best of luck with your career. Now, for the people that don't know you, what is your Twitter? What is your Insta handles? How can they follow you on social media?
Well, basically, I got an Instagram account. It's Abraham Horner, at Abraham Horner. I've got a like page, Abraham Horner, at Facebook, and we also do a lot of work at my gym back in Leicester when I go back on the weekends, called at Cardio Box. So yeah, man, they're the ways to get in contact and see what's going on and keep updated, man.
Well, lovely. Thank you for your time today. We wish you a safe journey back, and Pep Talk UK will be looking out for you in the future.
No, thank you. I appreciate that, Shaz. On a side note, I take my hat off to people like you making time for, you know, people that are coming through. It does, you know what I mean? It gives a good buzz around it. It gives a good buzz, honestly, it does. So on a side note, boom, thank you very much for that, Shaz.
You heard it here first. Abraham's glad I'm doing this. Result, I need a pay rise. Thank you very much, Abe.
Hey, you take Coog and Cassius off the scene, mate. I'm looking, hey, you gotta do it. Yeah? Cougar, he's new, mate. We need a breath of fresh air. It's you, Shaz. Time now, Pep Talk.
Lovely. Cheers, Abraham. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Thank you, Shaz. Now we review the football. So we've reached the halfway stage of the Premiership race, and basically all the top teams have taken maximum points over the festive period. Now, Leon, usually, historically, shall I say, the top team at Christmas go on to win the Premiership. Do you see Chelsea dropping points?
Well, this is where this season's going to be different. This season, what's going to happen, the team who's actually 5th on the 28th of December will be winning the title. Yeah. That's
Spurs, yeah? Oh, okay. This is a bit of Spurs strength on the pod this week.
Yeah.
How do you see it? How do you see it, Mike H?
I see it Chelsea or Liverpool, and I'm sticking with Chelsea.
Chelsea? Wow.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Chelsea, mate.
So, Leon, like, in honesty, you think Spurs are going to win the Premiership? Let's be real.
He don't, man. He don't.
No, we're not going to win it. But honestly, I think, I can't see Liverpool winning it. Probably Chelsea or Man City. Man City look like they're all over the place.
Arsenal, yeah, flaky.
But they're going to buy some players in January, and like Manchester United, and we'll see what happens. You know. But yeah, probably Chelsea. I think. Yeah.
It's looking that way, but Liverpool are on their toes.
And Leicester to get relegated.
Leicester, they're playing with death. You know, Leicester, 5th from bottom.
Leicester not man.
Mate.
Leicester not down.
That would be the greatest story in history. To win the Premiership one year and then go down the following year.
It's happened before, I think.
Well, I know Blackburn went down. Was it 2 seasons after or 3 seasons? I think it was 2 seasons Blackburn. But I don't know if Leicester can actually...
Was it all rigged? You know, how can you be good one year and the next season be near
This is what I'm saying. I mean, I just think it's a case that all the top teams had a bad year, all at once. You know.
Yeah, but Leicester shouldn't be bottom. Like, they shouldn't be in the bottom 5. But, yeah.
they might even win the Champions League and get relegated.
Oh yeah. Leicester versus Real Madrid, yeah.
That'd be a SmackDown hotel, mate. Pascal, what do you see is likely to happen from here at the top of the Premiership and at the bottom of the Premiership from the results seen so far?
From the results, well, you know, I'm quite very, very keen on the English Premier League, and from my point of view, in terms of relegation, I believe that Hull will be relegated. I've got a sneaky suspicion that Swansea will find it very difficult to come back. You know, at this stage of the season, the players are just too deflated from the successive defeats. So I see Swansea going down, and
Bob Bradley is gone.
Why did Swansea even get an American manager? What does Americans know about football anyway?
He'll score some touchdowns. I was hoping he'll score some touchdowws.
Equal opportunities, man. Equal opportunities.
I don't think it matters where the manager comes from, man.
Well,
why should it matter?
If it was Americans are, you know, I don't know.
If it was an African manager?
I think there's certain places which breed better managers than others. Like English managers are not the best. You know,
Scottish managers are excellent. Italian managers are very tactical. Aside from that, French managers are average. But I mean, it really doesn't really matter where you're from. To be honest.
I don't think you can say that. Yeah, I mean, Swansea were really bad before Bob Bradley took over, and they just continued being really bad. Like, it's not his fault; they're really bad.
They need investment, you think, or?
Like, I just think they need something. They've conceded more goals than anyone else in the Premier League this season. Like, they've conceded more than 2 goals a game.
Well, they sold their top centre back, Ashley Williams, to Everton.
Yeah, but they're conceding more than 2 goals a game. That's a bit of a problem when you're struggling to score 1 a game. They've got Sigurdsson. It's looking like they're in big trouble. Hull are gone. Hull City are gone. And then take your pick from another like 5 or 6 team. Leicester, I think, will have enough to stay up, enough firepower. But then again, Crystal Palace have got firepower. I keep saying it.
And they got Big Sam now, recently appointed this week.
Big Sam, outside of the top 5.
Like Sam.
Palace has scored the most goals, but they've got a dodgy defence. So if Sam Allardyce can sort out the defence and start climbing the way United are climbing at the top, they're in the league. But the whole City, kiss them goodbye.
We'll take Zaha.
Yes,
you tried to get him earlier, didn't you, in the summer?
Yeah, we will. But right now we're looking good without him.
Pascal,
Wait.
sorry to cut you. How good was Mkhitaryan's spectacular goal over the weekend?
The goal was a fantastic goal, Frankie. It's the type of goal that you don't often see, but it's also the sign of a world-class player. That very goal, for a team from Manchester United, when you think about the results that they've had, we were laughing at them, a few weeks ago because they weren't really performing. They were performing well, but they're not getting the results. But despite that, they're still very much a team that has a lot of confidence, and the players are also very talented. And to me, that kind of goal shows that, there's no pressure. The manager is trying to do his very best to allow the players to be, to have the freedom, the creativity to score goals. And, that pass from Ibrahimovic to Mkhitaryan, and that superb scorpion volley kick, you don't see many of them, in the Premier League, let alone, many players doing it. And for a man like Mkhitaryan to execute it and to score a goal from it, Frankie, is absolutely remarkable, I mean, some pundits reckon that he was offside when he did it, but, it doesn't really matter. At that stage of the game, Manchester United were very much in command of the game anyway. But I was very pleased to see it, and very pleased for Mkhitaryan, because I believe that, when the league started, he wasn't given the opportunity to showcase his talent, for some reason, Mourinho froze him out, but perhaps Mourinho maybe was nurturing him or acclimatizing him. Yes, exactly. Of course, and that shows also the hallmark of a good manager, because if you compare Xhaka started really well, but he was blowing off, he wasn't
big time,
used to the pace. So perhaps Mourinho understand the pace of the Premiership and slowly brought him in, and he's paying some dividends, by scoring those kind of goals. So big respect to Mkhitaryan.
I'm gonna basically say who's been your player of 2016. Leon Vandal, who's been your player this for 2016, this calendar
2016,
year?
Let me think. I have to give it to Harry Kane.
Yeah. Good shout, I must admit, good shout.
No, I'm joking, I'm just being biased.
No, really he scored bundles of goals this year, of goals.
I don't know who's really set the Premiership alight. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one of the Leicester players, I think.
Maybe Vardy?
No.
Kante?
Maybe, yeah, probably. But at the moment, how it's going, it's going to be Ibrahimovic for this season anyway. But yeah, anyway.
Okay. Mike H, who's been your player of 2016?
Sorry. My player for 2016, if it's not just the Premiership, it's Ronaldo. Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about actually in the Premiership for this calendar year? Who would you say has stood out from January to December?
It's got to be Harry Kane or Ali, or then Alderweireld, someone like that. Yeah.
Okay, so all Spurs players.
Yeah.
No bias, yeah? No bias.
Well, that's the truth,
yeah. Mike H, your player 2016?
It's a difficult one, because if you asked me for the first half, you'd say Mahrez.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Or Alderweireld. Second half, it's difficult to say, man. I mean, Harry Kane's got to be up there. Mm-hmm. But I'd say Mahrez for the first half of the season. And second half, let me think. Second half, I'll say Kante, N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, he's had
he's done a job all year. He's done a job. He's won the title. He's going to end up winning the league this season with one team and last season with another team. So I'm going to say N'Golo Kante. Beat that one.
Good shout. Pascal?
Well, one of my players of 2016, of course, has to be Monsieur Alexis Sanchez. He's had a very good Copa America back to back. Very both best player in South America. He's continuing to impose himself in the English Premier League very well. Cemented himself as a very good player and a very wanted player. So Alexis Sanchez has to be nominated for me. So far, also I have to give my respect, to the moody Diego Costa. Because Diego Costa, this season is proving that he's a world-class talent and by scoring quite a lot of goals. So in terms of attacking footballer, he's very much an improved, attacking goal scorer. So I'm very, very pleased with him, and perhaps an unsung hero, but yet still very much a hero. We have to give it to Mr. Kante. Kante, very, very, a consistent player, showing his world class at every level by winning the league with Leicester. Let's not forget he still went to France and was a finalist in the Euros, and is currently sitting at the top of the Premier League with Chelsea under Conte. So big respect to Kante, of course. Those three players.
Brilliant. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and form our own team of 2016 in a 4-4-2 formation. Now, Leon, goalkeeper 2016.
This one's easy, man.
Yeah, it's going to be the Tottenham chap.
Okay, so it's going to be Loris.
Yeah, I'll say Loris, yeah.
Okay. Pascal, left back.
No, this one's easy as well.
Left back. Let's have a look for the left back. Left back, he's controversial, but he'll have to be Danny Rose.
Okay, yeah, that's a good shout. That's a very, very good shout. Right back, Mike H. You know who's the best right back in the Premiership.
You're gonna say Bellerin?
All day long.
I don't know. It's a tough one. It's got to be Walker.
Hector Bellerin.
Walker, Mike H.
Mike H. Look,
it's Walker.
Somebody call the doctor.
If Walker had a brain, it'd be probably be the best right back on the planet. But he's missing that vital part.
He has no brain.
The thing is, Spurs had the best defence in the season last year.
But Hector Bellerin, come on.
I don't even want to say Kyle Walker, but I think I have to.
Bellerin.
I'm gonna say Walker. Let's go Walker.
Walker. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, what's your choice? Okay, centre back. I'm gonna do this one. The first centre back, I'm picking Laurent Koscielny, the boss of all bosses at the back. Yeah, he's consistent. Every season for Arsenal is consistent. He chips in with vital goals. His defensive play is spectacular. He reads the game well. With him, you know what you're gonna get. Good defending of the highest quality. Next centre back, Leon. Who's the next centre back aside Laurent Koscielny?
No, but it's obvious it's going to be Udofia.
Yes, of course. I agree with that. I actually agree. Udofia.
It's got to be.
So we go back four consisting of Arsenal and Spurs.
Surprise.
It's a North London affair, So what about we're going to start with the midfield. Two midfielders. Pascal, first midfielder.
Philippe Coutinho.
In a defensive midfield capacity.
Defensive, it has to be Kante, of course.
Okay, yeah. Kante, yeah, exactly.
We agree on that.
Yep, Kante. And what about you, Mike H? Who would be alongside Kante in centre midfield?
Oh wow. So where's Coutinho playing?
Well, Coutinho's an attacking player, so in a 4-4-2, he'd be on either wing or he'd be joining the strikers. As part of the strikers.
Hold on, give me a sec. Who do I go for? I'll go for Dembele.
Dembele?
Yeah, probably, man. It's difficult to think when you haven't got... It's funny, you can't get a ball from Dembele. When he's not injured and he's not gouging people.
Let's be real.
Are you telling me? I see the midfield. Hazard, Kante, Dembele and Coutinho. There's your midfield, man.
So we're going to say your choice for the central midfield berth is Dembele for 2016.
Who else do you go for, man? Give me some other suggestions and I'll tell you what I reckon.
Well, centre midfield, you've got who's
Hazard?
No, we're talking about the centre midfielder. Centre midfielder.
Centre midfielder.
I mean, even Matic, in centre midfield is more solid than Dembele.
Dembele is a beautiful footballer, man. He keeps the ball, he strokes it around. It's impossible to get the ball from him.
Okay, so you say Dembele or 2016.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Hazard, Coutinho, Kante and Dembele, that's your midfield.
Listeners, I apologise for this. It's Dembele. Alright, Pascal, we're going to deal with the left wing now. Who is on the left wing?
The left wing, remind me, where does Sadio Mane play?
He can play both flanks, but predominantly on the right.
On the right, on the left wing, who could you play on the left wing? That's a very good question. On the left, I cannot really think of anything on the left, Frankie, but I would put Sadio Mane on the right, Sadio Mane is very good on the right.
Okay, we'll put Mane on the right for you.
Merci.
And Leon Vandal on the left wing.
Left wing? I'm not too sure,
Just remember, Sanchez played mostly on the left last season.
Yeah, Sanchez is having a better season this season than last. Where does Mahrez play?
Mahrez plays on the right, but he can play both flanks, so that's acceptable.
Yeah, you have to put Mahrez. He was the player of the season, wasn't he?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So Mahrez. Okay, Riyad Mahrez. So
I change my choice now? Can I put Hazard instead of Dembele? Because you can't. Hazard has to play, man.
But Hazard played good second half.
You know what? Keep Dembele because Dembele's had a solid 2016. Keep Dembele.
Okay, Dembele. Okay, cool. So
Coutinho should play.
Yeah, Coutinho's a good player.
Coutinho gets in there ahead of him. Kante can defend and Coutinho can go through. There you go.
Okay, so Coutinho.
So there's no Lallana in there, no?
No.
So Pascal, striker-wise for 2016.
For
me, I know one player that's had a spectacular 2016, and he plays for a team that's based up the M1. What striker are you thinking about?
Jamie Vardy?
Yes, Jamie Vardy. I agree.
Jamie Vardy, striker of 2016, of course. I mean, he scored a lot of important goals. Good speed, very good speed. Kind of player that can play with the ball looped around. If you loop the ball to him, he's got the speed to get behind the defenders, and he's got some spectacular goals. So yeah, Jamie Vardy, definitely gets a shout. We have to give him some props, definitely.
And he won the Premiership title with his goals.
He won the Premiership title, yes.
Remember his goal against Liverpool? That goal spectacular. The half volley one.
Oh,
fantastic. On the right hand side, 25-yarder. Spectacular.
Spectacular goal. You're very right. It was a very spectacular goal, very, very good goal. And, Jamie Vardy was very much an important player. And he also cemented his place in the English team also,
Scored a goal at the Euros, yeah?
Yeah, scored a very good goal at the Euros. Yeah, I felt he was underused, Ottendier really know how to use him very well, but, he's a very good player who had great potential and still plays very good football even now, even though they're not playing as well as they used to better. But yeah, you got to give it to him. But, strikers, last season the strikers in the Premiership didn't perform very well. Mm-hmm. Giroud didn't perform to the best of his ability. He missed a lot of chances.
A lot of sitters.
Diego Costa didn't play very well either. Yeah. So you have some players who established strikers who didn't really prove themselves last season. So you're right. But Aguero is still very much one. The striker I love.
Yeah. 20 goals guaranteed every season.
Kun Aguero has to be up there. Yeah.
We'll leave Mike H with the last choice for the striking berth.
Thank you, Frank. It's got to be Harry Kane.
Harry Kane, okay.
Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy.
Top goal scorer last season.
Yeah, man.
Yes, of course.
There's no space for Wayne Rooney.
No, not at all. No, not at all. You're right. I agree on this one, actually, with Mike H. Harry Kane deserves to be there. I mean, if you have Vardy, Kane and Aguero in your front three strikers, oh my word.
You win something.
Devastating, Devastating.
All right, brilliant. Well, guys, that kind of wraps up the pod. Before we go, we've got to say R.I.P. George Michael. Very sad news. Right, brilliant, guys. I'd like to thank Angela. I'd like to thank Mike H. and Leon Vandal. Join us again next week for another Pep Talk UK podcast. Boom.